It's our second week in Northern Territory this week and we're heading to Kakadu. But first we head north to Darwin, so we drop Archie off for a few days. We then make our way west and stop at the famous Adelaide River to do the jumping crocodile tour, and then keep heading west towards Ubirr, where we base ourselves for Kakadu National Park.
Good morning, and here we are, another episode.
Yeah, so today we are on our way to Kakadu National Park. So we left Darwin. We've only been there a day, but we're going back there. So we're heading to Kakadu National Park, and on the way we thought we'd stop at the famous Adelaide River jumping crocodile cruise.
Yeah, so Archie has been dropped off this morning at Wallaby Camp.
Yep.
And they are dog sitters, so they will be looking after Archie for the next 3 days.
Yeah, so we're going to miss poor little Archie.
We will miss Archie.
But, you know, he won't want to be on these crocodile boat tours and, you know, walks and stuff like that.
No,
so.
The crocodiles would wish he was on there, but...
Yeah, they would do. But yeah, so we're at the jumping crocodile, the original jumping crocodile cruise. So I'm really looking forward to this because we haven't seen a croc yet.
I know.
I can't believe we haven't seen a croc yet. Not one single, no freshie, no saltwater, none. So a bit disappointing, but today
is the day.
If we don't see a croc, I'm going to be extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
There's one behind us, but that kind of doesn't count.
Yeah, I'm not sure that counts.
But we'll see one today for sure.
Yeah. And then really excited about seeing Kakadu.
Yeah, we don't really know what to expect again at Kakadu, which is kind of a good thing because it means we're always pleasantly surprised. But
yeah,
I think
we've read up a bit on it. So it's Australia's largest national park.
Yeah.
It's almost half the size of Switzerland.
That's massive.
It's about
That's crazy.
It's almost 20,000 square kilometres.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? But I think today we'll do the cruise. We'll head into. We're staying at Anbinik, so Caravan Park inside Kakadu. So this is actually our first stay in a national park as well, because obviously with Archie we can't stay in a national park, so it's quite difficult. But yeah, that's exciting on its own as well.
Exciting.
So I think we'll go there, set up the caravan, and head to the information centre, see what's happening in Kakadu.
Figure out what we're going to do for the next few days.
Yeah, take it from there, I reckon. But first off, the jumping crocodile cruise. Let's get on board.
Okay, enjoy.
So he'll know the approach of another big dominant male or even a little female. Females will scare off a rogue male because the females actually have a territory of their own. Come on, buddy, up you get. Pushing themselves up through the water with the tail and like walking up through the water as well. Come on, buddy, up you come. Mummy's got the chops.
We made it to Kakadu.
Woohoo!
So we're in the national park. We've got our park passes, $40 each.
Yeah, it's quite expensive.
Yeah, it's a little steep, but you know, you got to support the local communities and upkeep of the park and everything. So,
if you compare that to WA, where we paid $120 for both of us for an annual pass.
Yeah, for a car, like $40 a car, I could understand. Per person's a little steep, but it is what it is. Apologies, it's a little bit windy and there's a lot of noisy birds around, so there's a little bit of a racket out here. But yeah, we're just getting a few cool pictures, touristy pictures at the Kakadu sign.
And we checked out the information board, which has loads of information, just a bit about the culture around here and the languages that are spoken by the indigenous people of the area, and also a map a big map of Kakadu, and I've discovered that all of these places that Chris absolutely has to go to are all miles apart.
Yeah, well, it's Australia's biggest national park, so you got to expect that some of the points to see are pretty far apart. So there's a few non-negotiables that we do have to check out.
Yeah, so I think planning is on the agenda now.
Yeah, so
I don't think you can really wing it when you've got so many places to see.
Nah, absolutely. I think we'll stop by the information centre, get a few more brochures and stuff, and maybe do a plan of attack this evening over some drinks.
That sounds like a plan.
Let's check out Kakadu then.
Okay, let's do it.
So I think we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Here. Gonna drive all the way past here. Keep going, keep going. Ubirr.
Cool.
And our campground is somewhere here.
Yeah, so I think we're about an hour's drive from Ubirr now.
Yeah. So there's a few bits that I want to kind of do. I kind of want to see like Jim Falls, which it might not be a waterfall at the moment, but that would be good. You know, the cultural centre. There's some really good rock art stuff up here as well.
Okay.
Which we'll probably check out. And yeah, and everything else we'll probably just check out. Oh, Maguk. Check that out. That's supposed to be really good. Oh, here we are. We're staying at Anbinik Caravan Park in Kakadu. We just arrived. We set up. It was boiling hot before. Absolutely scorching, so it's a little cooler at the moment, but yeah, this is where we're set up. We're just here, so nice little spot. A little bit tricky to get in because of this massive tree in the way, but we got there in the end, so it's a little bit of extra maneuvering got us in. But yeah, it's a nice little caravan spot. What's really cool about it, which I had no idea, is we each get a little ensuite, which is really cool. So check out this little ensuite here. There you go. You know, nothing too flash, but it does the job. It's pretty good, and you know, it's a little bit better than having those kind of large amenities. So it's nice to have your own little ensuite for a change. So yeah, it's a really nice spot. Really hot. We're just cranking the aircon on at the moment, just having a bit of a chillax in the caravan, and we're just really planning our attack, see what we do over the next couple of days, and we'll probably set off early tomorrow and check a few things out in the national park. So yeah, so Anbinik is in a little town called Ubirr in Kakadu National Park, and we're paying, I think it's about $42 a night to be here. So full power, full water, $42 a night. Pretty good considering we get our own ensuite as well. So I reckon that's pretty reasonable. So you know, there are cheaper options out there, but we like our aircon too much. So yep, so this is us set up for now, and I think we'll go and explore the national park soon.
Here we are, Kakadu, our first full day here in the national park. It's early. We got up, well, for us it's pretty early. We got up at 6:30 so that we can get out to do some of the walks before it gets really hot. It's going to be a scorcher today. 38 degrees is the maximum, and once the sun is right up overhead, you can feel how powerful it is up here. It's really strong. Anyway, we went to the visitor centre yesterday and we got given a map, and they were really helpful there. They've highlighted all of the places that are open and worthwhile visiting, and also a couple of places where we can swim. Although Kakadu has about 140,000 crocodiles in the national park, so I'm not sure whether I really fancy swimming anywhere, but we'll see. So our plan of attack is we're going to do the stuff we want to cover in the south of the national park today, and then we'll cover the stuff in the north tomorrow. So we are now just heading to Jim Falls, which is the highest waterfall in Kakadu. Now, obviously at this time of year, it's pretty dry, and I think the waterfall is pretty much a trickle. But yeah, when it's tropical season, apparently it's spectacular. So we're going to go and do a bit of a walk around there and check out Jim Falls. And then we're going to head to a place called Maguk and then see how we're doing for time and see how hot we are, because yes, I think it's going to get pretty hot today. We've found some water crossings. We were getting a bit worried because we hadn't seen any water, but check this out. Okay, so in the scheme of things, they may not be that impressive in terms of water crossings, but hey, they're at least water. Some may call them glorified puddles. We will call them water crossings. We made it on the corrugations and bumpy roads here to Jim Falls.
We asked at the visitor centre, what does crocodile management mean? And they explained that for 6 weeks they put cages in any swim areas like Jim Falls and Maguk as well. So for 6 weeks they'll put cages there with like a pig leg in there or something, and lure all the crocodiles out, like literally catch them and move them to other areas of the park. And if the leg's still there after a few weeks, then they know they've caught all the crocodiles.
And they're crocodile traps.
Yeah, they look like it, don't they?
Yeah. I reckon that tube is one.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, look at this place. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. It was a crazy walk to get in here. We've still got a little bit to go, but scrambling over rocks, it is absolutely scorching, and the humidity is just unbelievable, dripping in sweat, and it's hard work climbing over all these rocks. But yeah, so Jim Falls is just up there. Unfortunately, because we're in the middle of the dry season, or actually towards the end of the dry season, there'll be no water today, but yeah, usually behind me there's probably where the black areas are. That's where the waterfall usually is. So, you know, we weren't expecting to see the waterfall today, unfortunately, but yeah, hopefully there's enough water at the end we can go for a nice little swim, because I think we both deserve it. What do you think, Han?
Uh-huh.
Oh, how stunning is this place. Loads of people swimming in there. Just the cliff walls, look how high it is. Hannah and I were going to get in, but the guys down there are getting eaten alive by fish, and we don't really fancy that, so we might save our swim for Maguk, which is the next stop. But I do want to check out this little beach over here.
Right, on to the next walk now. Where are we at now?
Maguk.
Maguk.
Oh, well, right, just next to the falls at Maguk, there's a kind of a pathway up, and you can kind of get to some little secret little swimming holes and things up here. So a bit of a climb, a bit freaky. Hannah wasn't keen, and yeah, just got to be really careful as you come up. Apparently coming down's worse, but I'm nearly up there, so let's keep going and see what we can find. Wow. Oh, that's awesome. So there's a few little like swimming holes and things here.
Day 2 in Kakadu.
Day 2 in Kakadu.
It's early morning and we're here at Yellow Water. The sky, there's not a cloud in the sky.
It's a stunning day. It's
So
not as
different.
humid today either.
No,
So
no, but I'm kind of glad we did the big walks while there was a bit of cloud coverage.
yeah, I have a bit of a limp from yesterday.
Yeah, I was about to ask what's happened here, what's going on?
I fell over.
Oh dear.
Fell over a few times actually. So my leg's a bit sore today, but yeah, we're doing the short walk things today. So a bit of rock art. We're doing this platform here. We're at Yellow Water at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is like a big kind of wetland or marshland with loads of crocs everywhere, which is, it's pretty stunning actually.
Yeah, it really is. And apparently there's buffalo here too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of wildlife. You can do cruises here as well, which we really want to do, but I think we'll maybe skip this one and do a cruise in Darwin when we get there. But we're just on the eye.
It's good that there's a boardwalk though, so if you're not wanting to do a cruise, you can still have a bit of a look around the wetlands.
Yeah, this boardwalk comes out quite far, and we're at the viewing platform now. We're at the end. And yeah, there's a little kind of stream here. I'm just keeping an eye out for crocs because we've seen one already. Yeah. And we just passed a couple, and they said there was one down here as well.
Yeah, I'm glad the boardwalk has sort of metal sides, as you can probably see here. So I'm guessing that's crocodile protection. I'm hoping that's crocodile protection. We do get a bit jumpy though.
Yeah, after the jumping crocodile thing,
yeah, after having seen them in action. Yeah, they are impressive animals.
Yeah, they're stunning. So yeah, I think today we're just gonna hit up the rest of Kakadu and yeah, let's see what we can go find, hey? Yeah. So whereas yesterday was 2 big things, I feel like we're going to cover quite a lot of things today. Yeah, a lot of small things. But little things, yeah. Yeah, that's right. So no, I'm looking forward to today because I think hopefully today we really learn more about Kakadu and the wildlife and the culture here and stuff like that, because yesterday was just all about the waterfalls and the walks and the swimming holes. And today's I really want to learn more about Kakadu itself. Oh my God, the tour would be so good to do.
I actually quite like just being here. When we stop chatting and when we're not talking, it's so peaceful just hearing all of the animal noises.
Yeah, let's listen for a bit. All you can probably hear is flies.
I think we'll keep having a wander on the boardwalk.
Yeah, croc search.
Yeah. It looks like at some point you could actually come off this boardwalk and walk down if you have a look here. but they've closed that off, and there's even a sign at the end just giving directions for a walk to Cowinda. We just wonder whether someone went down there and got eaten by a crocodile and they've closed it. Looks like it's been closed up quite a while, looking at all of the foliage that's grown on it. I'm more than happy staying on the boardwalk anyway. We're on to the next section of the day now, which is rock art. It's Kakadu's really interesting actually. We, you know, obviously day one was all about doing the long walks and the water holes, and I suppose really appreciating the environment. And then there's the element about the wildlife, so seeing the wildlife and also all of the sort of different types of trees and things. And then there's also the cultural side of things, so the Aboriginal cultural side. So we obviously just went to the cultural centre, which unfortunately you can't take photos or videos in there for cultural reasons. So we don't have any footage from inside there. But yeah, we've now come on to, there's a few different rock art sites throughout the national park. So we've come to the first one of those, which is called Noarlangie, maybe?
Yeah.
Or in Aboriginal, Burrunkoi.
Burrunkoi.
Yeah, we're not exactly sure on the pronunciation, but we're looking forward to seeing a bit of rock art.
Apparently, we haven't seen any on this trip so far, which is a bit surprising. So today we'll see 2 lots of rock art.
Yeah, looking forward to this.
Yeah, let's head on down the walk. I think it's a 1.5 kilometre return, so it says an hour and a half. Might take us an hour and a half, but actually it might with my leg.
Yeah, but hop along, Chris here. Hobbledy hoy.
But yeah, let's start the trek now, so we come back before midnight.
We've come to a bit of a shelter here, and there's some rock art here. What's also really interesting is I'm just reading the information panels, and they've done some archaeological excavations here. And based on the depth of the soil and things that they found, bone fragments and tool fragments, they estimate that sort of the local Aboriginal tribes were using this for up to 20,000 years ago.
So it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon and we're almost here for high tide. So high tide's probably about 3, maybe just after 3. So we're at Cahills Crossing. Now what happens here is pretty spectacular. So at high tide, the tide changes direction and the tides here are probably about 6 or 7 meters high. That's what they can get up to. And so I'll show you a picture. So as the tide gets higher, all these crocodiles from underneath kind of raise to the surface, get in location, ready to get as much fish as possible as it comes down the river. So yeah, it's apparently a little bit of a sight to see, and I'm kind of looking forward to this. It'll be really interesting to see what actually happens. But we've already seen a few crocs bob their head up and down. There's a few massive crocs in this river, so you wouldn't want to accidentally fall in here at all. But yeah, it's a stunning little spot, and I really want to cross the crossing actually, but unfortunately on the other side is Arnhem Land and you need a permit to get in, so I think we'll just have to stay on this side for now. Might film a couple of people driving across, but yeah, I think we'll just sit it out, do a bit of croc spotting and wait for the tide to get high.
We've just spent the last hour and a half, I reckon, at Cahills Crossing.
Yeah, it was really cool, but there weren't as many crocs as I expected. I think we probably had about 6, 7, maybe 8 crocs.
Yeah, I think it was a quiet day today.
Yeah, and there were just so many people that it was crazy. So we kind of saw the crocs and made a move.
We're done. Continuing our rock art theme, we've now come a bit further up to Ubirr. It's pronounced.
Me beer?
Ubirr. No beer. There's actually, it's quite ironic because there is no alcohol to be consumed at this particular location. We've lost Chris. Come back. There is, however, some great art, rock art here. These little figures up here are estimated to be 5,000 years old paintings and painted with a mixture of red ochre and animal blood. We're on our way back into Darwin. We've left Kakadu, had a fantastic time, and we've just picked Archie up from the dog sitters. I'm not sure who's more happy to see each other, whether we're more happy to see him or whether he's more happy to see us. We'll call it a draw, shall we?
He's very happy. Hey Archie. Good boy.
But it's been a great time in Kakadu. The one major casualty, which was Chris's iPhone.
Yeah, so I went swimming with it.
Yeah.
They say they're all water resistant and waterproof, but they're really not. I don't understand it. I wasn't in the water for long. Jumped in, realised, jumped out, dead. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So one of the next jobs is to go and get a new phone sorted, but that'll be for the next episode.
Well, what do you think, Han? Kakadu or Kakadont?
I'd say Kakadu.
Yeah, I'd say Kakadu. Got to do it. It's you know, I think there's a caveat to it. You just got to check what's open and what's not, because they have a tendency to close a lot of areas, whether it's because of cultural reasons or you know, just rain or anything like that. Or, so a lot of these places tend to get closed. We were lucky enough that nearly everything was open.
Yeah, we were.
So I think you just got to check before you go what's closed.
Yeah.
And we were lucky that a few things had just reopened as well. Like Ubirr had been closed for a week.
So for me, probably Ubirr would be one of the ones that I'd try and time it to make sure that's open, because
that's a must.
That was probably a highlight for me. I think what makes Kakadu so unique is very much around the cultural side of things. You know, yes, there are some lovely swimming holes and things, but you know, to be fair, we've swum in quite a lot of beautiful swimming holes with some great scenery. We're probably a little bit blasé about that now, but in terms of the rock art there, I mean, that's
the culture,
that's unique.
The culture there is amazing, and the fact that there's gorges, there's like dryish rainforest type things, and then there's there's wetlands, and it's just got so much to it. Kakadu. It's incredible. It's an incredible place. But yeah, I think I'm definitely Kakadu.
Where needs to be open in Kakadu for you to visit?
Maguk.
Yeah.
Maguk needs to be open. Ubirr needs to be open. I think Jim needs to be open, and it's a much harder. It's much harder to access, but I did think that was pretty sensational. Yeah,
it was, but you have to be super fit. I mean, that was
tough.
That was probably the hardest walk I've done all trip.
Yeah, it's a really tough walk, and I think also you got to time it better than we did. Like, we're at the end of the dry season, so there's not a lot of water around. But if you went just early into the dry season, when there's plenty of waterfall down all the falls, I think that'd be the perfect time to go.
Yeah, and it's starting to get really quite humid here as well.
Yeah, exactly. We were very lucky though. It was really quiet.
Yeah.
And I spoke to some camp leaders in one of the campgrounds there,
and they said, yeah, it's completely dead. So, you know, the last couple of weeks it's just been pretty much cleared out because it's getting too hot, too humid for the tourists. And what we're here middle of September. You know, the end of the season is pretty much October, so we're pretty much there.
Yeah. But no, it's been a fantastic few days, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been amazing.
And we finished it off beautifully last night. We had a bit of a date night, making the most of our last night without the fur baby, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we went to the Maguk Crocodile Hotel, which is, if you haven't heard of it, it's a hotel that is shaped like a crocodile, and the roof has got sort of green scales and everything.
Yeah, it's
so
very cool.
It's a really cool hotel, and so we went there and had a nice dinner last night.
Yeah, and Hannah's luckily a Core Plus member, so we get 50% off food. Which is
we get
awesome.
a bit of a discount.
Yeah, $20 eye fillet. How can you go wrong with that?
I know.
Yeah,
it is a bargain.
Unbelievable.
I'm not sure how much longer my loyalty card will last though, so they'll have to make the most of it while we can.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I think Kakadu's been sort of a bit of a highlight.
Yeah, and I think you can't really do it as a day trip either because it's $40 per person. So you kind of got to spend a couple of days out there. 2 days is enough to, you know, whip around and see it.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 or 4 would be perfect just to kind of pace yourselves a bit more. But you know, to see the main sites, it's definitely doable in 2 days.
And Anbinik was great as a base for us to be at.
It's a great spot
with the little en-suites.
Yeah, that was a real bonus.
Yeah, we were really comfortable there.
Yeah, and apparently the Thai restaurant there is amazing, but we didn't get a chance to do that. So maybe next time.
Yeah, that's right. Right, well, thank you for joining us for another week. We appreciate your support, and we'll...
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, we'll be doing next week. We'll be exploring Darwin, so don't forget to join us and see what we get up to in Darwin.
Yeah, lots to do, lots of things booked, and plenty to see in Darwin. So yeah,
see you next week.